In this video, we'll be going over all of the mounts arriving in patch 11.1.7 as well as how to get them. So the first mount we'll talk about is going to be the Shao House Sage Serpent, which has been announced and confirmed by Blizzard itself that it'll be rewarded to players that have completed the Pandarian experience. So it's going to be part of the launch celebration of Mr. Pandaria Classic. So players will just need to complete the Pandarian starting experience on Mr. Pandaria Classic during the pre-patch, which will be held from July 1st until the end of July. The next mount we'll talk about is going to be the OC91 Chariot. The mount itself is going to be rewarded to players who complete the achievement Titan Console Overcharged, which requires players to get enough Titan Disc Shards to unlock all of the skills of the Overcharged Titan Console. Now, this event will be arriving on June 17th, and this will be called the Overcharged Delves. Now, everyday 2 bountiful delves will be overcharged, and we'll be able to tell which ones are overcharged by the lightning effects crackling off of the bountiful delve icon. These delves will stay overcharged even after completion, meaning it will be spammable. While doing these delves will be faced off with the usual stuff, however, certain mobs will be constructs, and these will drop a unique currency known as the Titan Disc Shards, which we'll need to gather enough for the mount. Additionally, we'll also be given the Overcharged Titan Console. Similar to the recent Horrific Visions Hourglass, this will make our overcharged delves run a lot easier. However, it's worth mentioning that the difficulty will not change the amount of Titan Disc Shards we receive, so it's better to spam overcharged delves on tier 1. During PTR, we tested on average that we were able to receive anywhere between 60 to 80 Titan Disc Shards per run, and because each of the perks on the Overcharged Titan Console needs about 100 shards to unlock, and there's a total of 17 perks, it'll take us at least 22 overcharged delves to fully unlock and upgrade our Titan Console, which will give us the mount. The next mounts we'll talk about is going to be related to Timewalking, and we can look forward to get up to 3 mounts from doing this event, which will start on June 17th and last until August 5th, meaning we'll have about a total of 7 weeks to do the event and get all 3 mounts. The first mount we'll talk about is going to be the Chrono Corsair, which is this pirate dragon. The mount will be rewarded upon completing the Master of the Turbulent Timeways, which requires us to gain the buff Mastery of Timeways for 5 weeks straight during the event. Coincidentally, for those looking to purchase the previous Master of the Turbulent Timeways mount, which is the Timely Busby, will be able to purchase it from any Timewalking vendor for 5,000 Time Warp badges. Now, as for tips on getting the Chrono Corsair when it does go live, we recommend designating one alt to do the Timewalking Dungeons grind for the mount. So we'll use that alt to run 4 Timewalking Dungeons for week 1, and then every subsequent week after that, we'll just log in that alt and do 1 Timewalking Dungeon. How that works is after completing 4 Timewalking Dungeons, we'll get the Mastery of Timeways buff, which will last for about 3 hours of gameplay, meaning if we're not online, the buff itself will not run out and expire. So with that buff active, we only need to stack it by doing 1 Timewalking Dungeon every subsequent week after, and we'll want to keep that buff up for a total of 5 weeks in a row to get that mount. As for the last 2 Timewalking mounts, these are going to be new ones arriving for patch 11.1.7. One of them is going to be the Moonlit Nightsaber, which is going to be sold for 5,000 Timewalking badges. As of PTR, we don't have the exact coordinates of where the vendors will be, but we'll know that Turbo, the Timewalking vendor, will be both in Borealis Harbor for the Alliance and Zuldazar for the Horde. The other one is going to be the Ivory Savage Mane, also sold for 5,000 Timewalking badges from the previously mentioned vendor as well. The next set of mounts we'll talk about are going to be the Trading Post mounts. So far, we've got insight on the 10 upcoming mounts with leaked dates and speculation on when they will come out. For next month, we'll be getting a Forsaken theme. With that, we'll be able to purchase the following 4 chargers. This is going to be the Banshee's Chilling Charger, the Forsaken's Grotesque Charger sold for 575 Traders Tender, the Wailing Banshee's Charger also sold for 575 Tender, and the Banshee's Sickening Charger. From their sources, 2 of these don't have a price tag, so one of them could be awarded from the Traveler's Guide, so we'll probably have to fill it up all the way to get one of those mounts. Now, as for the remaining 6 Trading Post mounts, it'll be a bit more speculation on when they'll come out, but for the Silver Riding Crane, which is going to be sold for 325 Traders Tender, this mount will come out for the month when the Mr. Pandaria Classic comes back next month, around the 3rd week of July. So expect to get this next month on July itself. Next up up is going to be the Unarmored Death Husk Felbor, which is also going to be sold for 325 Raiders Tenders, and it's expected to come out for the month of October during Fel festivities. Next up are the chessboard mounts, which could either appear in August or September, and these look absolutely fantastic, by the way. I personally like the gold color theme one. These mounts look great, and we'll be able to get 4 various and beautiful color schemes. The purple one will be called the Grandmaster's Prophetic board, sold for 700 Traders Tender. The black, white, and gold one is going to be called the Grandmaster's Royal board, also sold for 700 Traders Tender. For the blue and bronze color scheme, this one is going to be called the Grandmaster's Deep board, and then we'll get this whitish green board called the Grandmaster's Smoky board. Since those two don't have any price tag, one of them could be rewarded from the Traveler's Log, but we'll know when the month of August or September arrives, so we'll just have to wait for that. For our last mounts we'll talk about in the video is going to be the Inarius Charger and a returning mount, the Tyrael's Charger, which are going to drop from the crossover event happening once again this patch 11.1.7. The event will start at July 1st and last a whole month ending on August 1st, and that is going to be the crossover event with Diablo. When the event is live, treasure goblins from Diablo will spawn in one of 3 capital cities. That's going to be Dornegal, Orgrimmar, or Stormwind, and every 30 minutes a portal pops up. So for example, at 1 p.m. one of them pops up, and then 1:30 p.m. another one pops up, and so on. If you aren't in any of the 3 capital cities, you will not be able to see the portal location spawn on the map. 5 minutes after the portals appear, for example 1:05 p.m., the treasure goblin spawns from that portal. As a footnote, Undermine has a different way of spawning treasure goblins, so a portal pops up upon killing any Undermine rare, and then the treasure goblin spawns after about a minute. This can only occur once per hour for each Undermine rare, and we'll be able to tell which of the rares can spawn a treasure goblins if they don't have the portal problems debuff on them. So from the treasure goblins, we'll be able to have a chance to loot Tyrael's Charger, and take note, both mounts will have a high chance of dropping for our first kill and loot of the treasure goblins for each day, but they can still have a chance from getting looted from subsequent drops, though at a lower drop chance. But that is going to be it for the video. Let me know what mounts you've got your eyes on. Me personally, it's going to be the chessboards, but regardless, thank you all for watching, and do leave a like and subscribe since it'll help the channel out a lot. See you all on the next one.